Hi guys, and welcome back to my episode. I am so excited because this week I actually get to cross off something from my bucket list that I've been waiting 2 years to do. I'm not sure if you've heard of Silver Falls State Park, but this is a park located outside of Salem, and it has a 7.2-mile loop where you could actually see 10 waterfalls. But because of all the storms recently, there are some trail closures. I looked online and it showed as of the beginning of January that you can't actually do the full 7.2-mile loop. I only can do 5 miles. I go in on one trail and have to come back on another. So I do miss out on seeing a few of the waterfalls, but it sounds like I still get to see some of the most iconic ones, especially the one where I get to walk behind the falls themselves. So I'm very excited for today's adventure. I'm so glad that you're coming along with me. Jason from Primal Outdoors is coming along with me. He's been traveling with me as we head to the west side to go see some friends. But last night we landed here in this dispersed spot where there is a large burn area, but the clearing actually allowed us to have Starlink so we could work and use our Wi-Fi and get some things done that we needed to before we head out for the day. Time to get a little bit muddy. It's right at a 30-minute drive to get to Silver Falls State Park from where we did our camping last night. We're gonna swing by the grocery store to pick up a couple items on our way there. When I was here in Oregon almost 2 years ago, I went up to go do some hiking through the gorge and to do a bunch of those waterfalls. And during that time, I hurt my foot really badly. I actually bruised the bottom of my foot super bad. I couldn't even walk on it for a few days. And it took a few weeks to actually heal completely. So I knew I would not be able to do a 7.5-mile hike at that time. And because I'm so close to them, there's no way I'm gonna miss it being this close. Eggs, cheese, pickles.
Pickles. Pickles.
Pickles. I think because I'm driving through like farmland and it's raining, something about this is giving me Tennessee waterfall vibes. When I drove through and did some different waterfall hikes one week, it was raining for a lot of the hikes that I did in Tennessee, and I saw, I think, 5 different waterfalls. But yeah, driving today in the rain, it's definitely making me feel like I'm back in Tennessee right about now. The name of this intersection is called Coon Hollow. That's so funny. I really do feel like I'm back in the South right now. Well, all of a sudden there's like snow up here.
Yeah, maybe we'll have snow instead of rain.
I would much prefer that. Well, we just made it to the south entrance. It is definitely snowy up here more than rainy, which is nice because that will make for a much nicer hike today. I decided really quickly that we should probably find a camp spot that we like just because it's noon already. Now, you know that I never do paid camping, but when I am in a nice state park or a national park, I actually like to stay in the campground just because you're going to be close to the trails. There's amenities. I know that these ones have hot showers from what I saw online, and other facilities like a dump station, potable water. So a lot of times in a van, it's nice to have a little pit stop somewhere where you can do all those things. Well, we pay right here. Right now, all of their tent areas, what I would normally do, are closed for the season. If you're a resident, it's $33. If you're a non-resident, it's $42. So, and then we also have the extra vehicle, which is $10. I think we're gonna try to share a site so that way we can use his Oregon resident and share a site and then split that to make it a little bit more affordable. And then here's also a trail guide, just because all their kiosks are closed right now. Here it also is letting us know about the emergency trail closure, which I did read about that online. So I got you a map to kind of check it out. I think we go to the campsite and pay there. This is just for all day parking. But Oregon residents are $33 and it's $10 for an extra vehicle, so $43 total. So we'll drive in and just find a spot and then pay online. All right, so I just talked to the lady that she came by, and she said that there's only 2 people booked tonight, so we are just gonna go find ourselves a spot and then go online and pay for it that way. Jason backed up in front of me, and the nice thing about this spot is there's room for both of our vehicles, and then right over there are restrooms and showers, which will be very nice to have access to that. Looking at the map, there's a lot of closures going on. What we have been able to figure out is this loop right here is open. The only problem is you're only allowed to bring a dog on it from here to here. So Jason's planning on doing this little section with me. It's like 2.5 miles, and then he's going to go back. And I think I'm going to continue to see the rest of these and do the loop all the way around. This loop is 5 miles. Now, normally what you would do is you would go all the way around and go all the way around through these and back, making it 7.2 miles. So they're closed down because of landslides or down trees. So it's saying just to please respect the areas, do not pass the barricades. And then it kind of gives you an area of where the trails are closed. Now, it was kind of frustrating trying to go online and make the reservations because A, it just took forever for it to accept my information. And B, a park ranger stopped by in the meantime and just kind of wanted to ask about our vehicles. And he kind of gave us a little bit of a hassle, I would say, over having 2 vehicles in this spot, which I was like, if we need to have 2 separate, I'm fine with that. Like, just let us know. We'll move one. And he was like, no, I'll let it slide this time. You know, we only have 2 other reservations right now, so the park's empty. But normally, you know, we wouldn't allow 2 recreational vehicles in one spot. And I said, I totally understand that. Anyways, I was like so excited to do this. And then after all that, and then the closures and no pets allowed on certain trails, it's just kind of like gone, wah, wah. I've got my bag all packed and it's time to go. Apollo, Mommy will be back in a little bit, okay? Be back in a little bit. Just be gone 2 or 3 hours, okay? Then I'll be back. You stay snuggled up while I'm gone. It's a perfect little place to get a hot cocoa or something after a long, cold hike. Hoping to come back here and do that. Well, so far the day's been a little disappointing of what we can do and what we can't do. But we're gonna make the best of it, right?
We are.
We're gonna have a good time regardless. All right, first waterfall. This one right here, oh my gosh, look at this. This is South Falls. Oh wow, this is amazing, huh? So this waterfall, you can actually go on the trail down, around, and behind it. So many of these trails here do not allow you to have pets, so just keep that in mind before you bring your furry friends, because unfortunately that's what we're experiencing with Ben. Here's one of the signs marking this, just saying that there is a closure on this trail due to the storm damage. That little snowman reminded me of our snowman that we made. I think ours was better. It was even smaller. The one trail he is allowed on is the North Room Trail. There's only 3 trails, I believe, that you can walk your dog on, and only one of those is open right now. Ben, does it seem like discrimination? Everything is so green and dense, and we were just saying it can feel a little bit claustrophobic almost because it's so thick, but it's really beautiful. And on a day like today, where it's been rainy and snowy, there's not a lot of people, so it's ended up to be the perfect day to visit. Saying to be cautioned, trail conditions may be icy or slippery. Trail of 10 Falls. So, yep, no dogs. Well, this is the lame part about this park, is they only got to see 1 waterfall because all the other trails are closed to dogs. We thought they'd get to see 2 or 3. So I'm saying goodbye at this point. I'm gonna do the loop on my own, I guess. See you later. Go get dry and get a hot cocoa or something, okay?
Take lots of pictures. So I'll get to watch it on the video.
You can watch my YouTube video if you want to see all. If you want to see all the waterfalls, you can watch my YouTube video. Are you sad you can't go? I know, I'm sorry. I'm fine going on my own and doing it. Obviously, it's more fun to do a shared experience with somebody, but I just feel bad for them more than anything because, you know, he came all the way here to do this too, and I understand he doesn't want to leave Ben in the van for that long of a time. And it was nice to get to do it for a little while and take Ben for a walk when we could, but I do feel bad that he didn't get to do all the waterfalls with the loop. I think that's something that a lot of people that travel with dogs talk about. They don't go to a lot of the national parks. I've done 32 of the national parks, and it's on my list to get them all done. But I also know for people that have dogs, a lot of them talk about they don't go to those places because many of the trails are closed to them, and some parks don't allow them at all. This right here is fall number 2. This is Winter Falls. This one is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it is gorgeous, and so we're seeing in person. All right, let's head on to the next one. Here's the sign for the North Falls Trailhead and parking lot, and as you can see, it is yet again another trail closure. All of this area, as you can see in the red, is completely closed off, so it really does affect several spots. Definitely not a bad trail to hike on when you're by a beautiful river like this. Well, I just passed a group of people and they had a dog on a leash with them. And all I could think of is, this sucks because here we obeyed the rules and other people are walking their dog, and Jason left with Ben and doesn't get to experience this because we obeyed the rules. Then again, because I'm putting this on YouTube, I probably should be following the rules. And because you should, okay, don't get me wrong, you should, but it just sucks when you see other people not and you're like, man, I wish we could have done that too. All right, here is waterfall number 3, and I'm not even sure what this one is called, but we're gonna go see what it is. We're behind a waterfall right now. Isn't that crazy? That was beyond incredible. That made my whole entire day. Like, I could leave and be totally happy now. This is Drake Falls waterfall number 4. I have a feeling waterfall number 5 is right on the other side of this bridge. Oh. Nope, okay, there's that one, but there's also that one. This one is Double Falls. Waterfall number 5. Waterfall number 6. This looks like waterfall number 7. It's really beautiful. Well, the canyon is definitely a magical place. Just the water dripping off all the moss everywhere. And then you have the creek running by. It's clear and see-through, and just all the sounds of nature everywhere. It's absolutely magical. But it's definitely cool in the canyon. And right about now, I could go for a cup of hot cocoa, something to warm me up after this wet and rainy hike. All right, well, I just looked at my map and had some pickles, not pickled pickles, but pickles. And it looks like I have 1 mile to go. It does say steep and stairs here. Yay! I had to cross through a bunch of water that was on the ground. These stairs are definitely a good booty workout, let me tell you. Whew. Really get some quick incline. It's like that stupid Stairmaster at the gym that I hate so much. And guys, we made it across the river. That up there is waterfall number 1, the South Falls. This was definitely a fun hike, and if you're thinking about doing it, definitely do the entire loop. Give yourself plenty of time, pack snacks, take rest, but all the falls are just really magical and you should get to experience them. And if for some reason you are not able to get out there and go see it for yourself, then I'm really glad you got to come on this journey and experience it with me today. We're gonna go behind these falls. It might get a little bit loud. But this is one of the most amazing ones that you can walk behind in all of Oregon. Oh, a hot shower sounds so nice right now, and some hot cocoa and a warm meal. And to get these boots off, my feet are tired. So they actually have really clean showers, and so after that long hike, a hot shower sounds amazing. It's so much better than that scary one I was in before. Well, the hot shower felt amazing. The cafe that I saw when we walked there originally sadly was closed. They closed at 4 o'clock and I got done with the hike at 4:30, so no hot cocoa for me tonight. Apollo is definitely in play mode. He knows it is time to cook dinner and play, so he is all happy to have me back in the van. Look at that cute little face. I mean, who could resist it? I'm gonna make cheese ravioli with some chicken sausage and some Rayo's marinara, some garlic bread out of sourdough, and some green beans for my dinner. Sometimes state parks aren't that bad. I mean, I was able to take a hot shower, recharge my batteries, cook all that I want and not worry about my batteries getting low, and see some amazing waterfalls. So I feel like today ended up being a win after all. I do have a drone to recharge and a cat to snuggle, so I'm gonna take off. But if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, comment below, and until the next adventure, I'll see you then.